I think it's important for us to have a little history about IAPMO's involvement in the development of codes and standards for use in the plumbing and mechanical industry. Approximately 15 to 20 years ago, IAPMO did not use voluntary consensus process. We used a process that limited voting rights to government inspectors. And although the industry was permitted to vote throughout the process, at the end of the day, only inspectors determined what ultimately got into our codes and standards. And we recognized in the mid-90s that that process was going to be antiquated. And as a result, we made a determination and ultimately a commitment to utilize ANSI's definition of voluntary consensus standards as the underpinning process in everything that we've done since in the development of our model codes, the Uniform Plumbing Code, Uniform Mechanical Code, the Solar Energy Code, and the Swimming Pool, Spa, and Hot Tub Code, as well as our product standards and our installation standards. The second part of that is really a recognition that manufacturers were going to be marketing their products globally. And in order for us to serve their needs, as well as our own, we recognized that we needed to use a voluntary consensus process that was, of course, underpinned by consensus standards in order to give those manufacturers a very, very good chance of being able to market their products outside of North America. The reason being is that we heavily promote the use of our codes and standards outside of North America. And those countries that adopt our American national standards now utilize the standards that are embedded within those codes, and thus manufacturers that can market their standards in North America now have a much higher chance of having their products accepted in India and in other countries that have adopted our codes and standards. We use the ISO 17024 international standard for personnel certification through ANSI's oversight to ensure that we're administering our personnel certification process similar to the processes that are readily available in other countries. Because the 17024 standard is well recognized throughout the world, it thus gives us the ability to promote the individuals that we have certified here in North America, promote their credentials outside. A good example now is in Australia. The Australian government has reduced the work visa requirements for individuals working within the plumbing industry. The reason is that they don't have enough qualified plumbers in Australia right now. So they've come to America and Europe and some other developed countries asking if any of our qualified individuals would consider relocating to Australia for a period of time. The U.S. government is working with the Australian government, and we're using individuals that we've certified to 17024 to be able to be readily credentialed within Australia. So that is a real easy way of showing how individuals can benefit and how countries can benefit through the cross recognition of these international standards. Most major plumbing product or mechanical product manufacturers are now trading globally. And if their products can be accepted by testing and certifying to one standard as opposed to having to individually certify and test to a variety of standards, well, naturally, they're going to recognize the benefit to their bottom line to going through a process that gives them the most access to the most markets around the world. If a company is unsure about the advantages or the disadvantages to participating in the standards development process, I would certainly remind them of the fact that their competitors are likely doing so. So in the absence of their participation, their competitors will then decide their destiny. And I don't think anybody, whether it be in the manufacturing sector or in the code implementation sector or in the training sector, would want someone else, particularly a competitor, determining the destiny of their future.